Right, here we are then, another week in life vlog. So it's week commencing Monday 18th of July 2022, of course. I feel, don't judge me, but I'm a proper part-time, I think, at the moment, because it's actually Wednesday and it's my first day on the run. So Monday, Tuesday was like a crazy heat wave. After weekend, I went out on a bike ride on Sunday, and I think even though I took a big bottle of water with me, it was still really hot. I think I got a bit dehydrated, so I woke up Thursday, felt really rough. So I woke up Monday, and then I decided I wasn't going to have a day off because I was kind of a bit late anyway, and I didn't feel much better by Tuesday. So I thought I'm just going to I'm not going to go out on a run Monday, Tuesday with them crazy like 40-degree, 39, 40-degree temperatures. Because the previous week it was like low 30s and it was pretty, unpleasant. I'd say I don't have aircon in this van, but still, it's 2 days without working, so I did do some little bits at home, so I got a bit productive, like got some of my books up to date, and even though hadn't been that long since I updated them, I booked all the theory tests, basically, the two for the HGV license. So the official theory test is broken into two parts: multiple choice and hazard perception. So I booked them too. There's also a part of the CPC, certificate of professional competence for a driver. When you're doing it for a new license, you have to do it differently to as if you're like an ongoing driver. So there's a part of that which is you need to do basically a DVA centre. So it's basically like an extra part of the theory. It's not in name, but kind of is. So I booked them all on the same day, 12th of August. Couldn't find any availability in the local ones to me in the West Midlands. So I booked it on a Friday when I'm going back to Wales for the Saturday. So I booked it 12th of August and I'm doing it in Chester on the way home. So I'll have a full day of tests on the Friday. Hopefully, so I've got to read up on them now. I've looked online. There's a service where you just pay £20 and you get like all online access to like learning materials and mock tests and stuff like that. So that's what I'm going to be doing in the evenings and stuff when I'm out tramping. I've got a bit of squatting up to do, make sure I pass. So I need to look now into who's got availability for doing the actual driver training and tests. So that's going to be sort of probably like, I don't know what the availability is going to be like, but nice to do it in like September, October latest, and then try and get a job before the end of the year, when there's a high demand for drivers. Try and get in on a decent job. Failing that, it will be in the van till the end of the year when it should be okay, and try and get a job in January. But transport was quiet in January, so there's going to be less driving jobs available for trucks, I'm sure, so it'll be harder but not impossible. But anyway, that's kind of why I've had Tuesday off, because I'm just lazy and didn't feel great. A bit about where I'm at with the trucks. So anyway, fuel prices, UK fuels 155.71 plus VAT, of course. BWC or BWOC, which is their own card control for diesel that uses Key Fuels network, 151.91, which is about a penny and a half cheaper from last week. So it is trending slowly down, which is obviously a good thing. So a few weeks ago, or the week commencing 20th of June, I was paying just over 25 pence a mile in diesel. It worked out with the VAT. Now it's more like 23 and a half. So excuse me, kind of helps. So yeah, I'm just going to use the BWOC card this week, so it's a fair bit cheaper, nearly 4 pence cheaper than the Shell card for UK fuels. With the VAT it works out 182.29. This is, yeah, compares quite favourably to what I'm seeing on the pumps, I think, at the moment. So yeah, Monday day off, Tuesday day off, Wednesday today I started looking 9:15. Got a job by 10. It was a job from picking up Birmingham, just to the sort of east of Birmingham itself. So I had 13-mile drive to pick it up. Going to York, and it said in the load notes 16 lengths of pipe and 3 bags, actually 3 boxes. Help to load, but you need to tip yourself. Bit of handball involved. So quote 148 because it's going to like York, which isn't a million miles from Leeds and stuff, but it's still a bit out on a limb. And the guy rang up and says, yeah, we'll round it up to 150. It's 131 miles or something, so it's about 150 for 144 miles. So it worked out pretty good, over £1 a mile all miles. Went and picked up, really easy. Got to the other end and it was delivering to York retail outlet or designer outlet or whatever. And I know the contractor were going to use the materials, which was just for installing the sprinkler system, weren't on site. They're getting on site tonight. The site foreman arranged, a couple of lads, a couple of guys. I think they were just, site labourers, so they came and tipped me. So, well, helped tip me, so I was tipped in no time. So pretty good in the end. And then I was sat in York and I bid on a fair few jobs. It took me a while to get a job, but in the end I got one, a booze job, 890 kilograms of booze, 9 kegs, and then just some like boxes and crates of bottles and stuff, cider. Going to one pub in Hull from Normanton. So yeah, how is this? I think on this whole job, about 80 miles, maybe a touch less. I quoted 85 quid. So that's including getting to Normanton, where it's like 45 minutes from, 30 miles. Yeah, so it worked out alright. Obviously a bit of handball involved. Delivered to a Premier Inn, Lenny Henry Hotel, as Pete calls them, Pete the crew driver, which is also a beefeater, I think they call it. So I think they're part of the same company, Whitbread, own both of them, I think. Yeah, so got it down to 235 quid for today, but I've only done 220 miles, so pretty reasonable day, the first day of the week. Before I left the RDC where I picked up all the booze, I had a quick look at any jobs that had come up on the notifications. There was a job for the morning from Immingham down to just north of Brighton sort of thing, Worthing area, but a bit inland. I forget what the place is called. It's 255 miles, so I just thought, well, I'll just bid £1 a mile, and hopefully there's enough money on the job then to get to it, the dead miles. Didn't quite work out because it's like 33 miles from the last drop to this, but I got it at £1 a mile loaded. Got to pick up at 8 in the morning, so it's nice and early enough, but ideal for me 8. Yeah, so got that. But I'll try and do a slightly shorter route on the way down to, if I can, as long as it doesn't add too much time to a journey. But I think there might be fitters waiting for this, so it might just be a case of just get down there ASAP. So that's it. So reasonable start to the week. Obviously lazy, but then I was a bit ill start to the week. But today's gone alright. Decent job tomorrow, decent paying job. If I get another job from tomorrow after that, like heading back to the north or something, that'll be a good day. That'll be nice. With it being a 3-day working week now, would be very handy. Yeah, so that's intro to the week and to the end of Wednesday. Right, Thursday evening now, about 9:30. Look, it's kind of getting dark, pretty dark already. 9:30. Nights are drawing in. Yes, so not the best day today for a few reasons, which I'll come to. So obviously had a job booked in, pick up at 8, got there at 8, out there by 8:30, so not too bad. Simple enough load, not much weight to it. And then a long drive down to Pulford, I'll put it on the screen, but anyway. Turned out to be going to a Waitrose store in quite a smallish town sort of thing. Pulborough. It wasn't actually Pulborough, it was like sort of a town close to it. Small town with a Waitrose in the middle, and that tells you a lot about the area. Pretty affluent. And the shop was shut for a total refit, and when I got there it was absolutely chaos because they were also contractors there resurfacing the car park and parts of the drive entrance into the car park and the store, the goods entrance. So I parked where I could, went in, spoke to the gaffer, the foreman. He says, yeah, no trouble, I'll go and tell the people, the door people, it was doors I had, probably the glass doors that slide open. Some of them I had on board, I think. I'll tell them now, get them to come around and meet you. So I went back out to the van. And when I got there, there was a truck parked up waiting to collect. In the end, he couldn't collect because it was just too busy, so he was told just to get off site, kind of thing. And he was having a bit of a kind of an argument with another courier. He wasn't there to deliver to Waitrose, just to a shop around the corner or something, but he couldn't because his truck was in the way, so they're having a bit of an argument, you know, and he's saying, well, there's nothing I can do. And he was told to get off site, and then when he went to leave site, just as I was there, he's obviously manoeuvring to get out of this tight area, and he caught my van. So I was put a massive down on a week and a day. So just have a look at these little photos. Yeah, so it's not done much damage, but it is damaged. It could have been a lot worse, really. But he's hit it with the edge of the back of the curtain side vehicle. It was rigid, and it's where the hinges just stuck out like maybe a centimetre from the rest of it, a bit more, maybe 15mm, and that's caught the van. Scratched it, about 40cm scratch, and pushed the panel in a bit, but it's only on a flat part of the panel. It could have been a lot worse. It was slightly higher, it would have been on like the crease of the panel. So, you know, try not to get mad about all this stuff, because, you know, it's accidents happen. It could happen to me. So I wasn't having that, but it's just the guy's attitude. He was like, oh, well, it'll be all right, won't it, mate? It's just a work van. It's like, no, mate, you just damaged my van, you know what I mean? No wonder he's banging into stuff with that sort of attitude. So when he got his details, he left, finished tipping, got off site. So I got there just after 2, 2:05 or something. I was out there by 2:30. And then I was kind of up with me 2:55 for the day. I did manage to shave off a few miles without adding too much time on the way down. So it probably only worked out like 90 pence a mile, but a long job. So I thought hopefully get something now. Ideally a long job, make it a really good day, or even if it's just something local or a min charge job, it kind of like boosts it up kind of thing. But I didn't get anything. I was quite surprised how little jobs were coming up down here. Normally do alright down here. I drew a blank in the afternoon, so that's one job, 255 for the day. Not sitting around. And then at the end of the day, I was inland about 10 miles from the coast. I thought, right, I just want to get out of this town after what's happened. I'll drive 10 miles. Is quite far for me to drive kind of unnecessary miles in a way, but I just wanted to get out of there and go down the coast. I thought, have a little fish. Had a Chinese on the way. I've been having egg foo young lately, something I'm not didn't used to bother with, didn't even know what it was. It's basically scrambled egg with, you know, special, so it's got the meat and prawns and stuff in it. My thinking about that is it's quite nice, and it's also obviously high in protein and a fair bit of fat in it, but very few carbs. So I'm trying to, you know, low carb evening meal, once or twice a week is alright. Kind of keep the weight off with this. Definitely put weight on since I started doing this. Yeah, so, and then I went for a fish, but the fishing was a waste of time because there's just too much. There's a bit of a wind, not a big strong wind, but it's quite a lot of seaweed in the water, and I cast out twice, brought it back in each time. And you know, my feathers and my spinner at the bottom is just covered in weeds, so you're not going to catch any fish. And looked at the water, it's quite like murky, churned up. So like using feathers and spinners when you need clear water and no weeds. So knocked that in the end. You can probably see the beach huts behind me, just to the west of Worthing. I was going to park in the front, but the sign's saying no camper vans, but I can kind of get away with it because once I'm in the back, it doesn't look like a camper van. But I know strolled down the beach, down a path, and found this car park behind some houses and next to the beach huts. Obviously the beach is that way. And I sort of noticed there's a van life guy. There's a guy over there in a LDV Maxus, so quite an old van now. It's got the back doors open. He's got a log burner in there. It's actually got a log burner lit. It's not that cold. And you know, kitchen units and stuff. So he's a proper van lifer by the looks of it. Yeah, so that's the day really. A bit disappointing in the end. I thought I might be on for a good day. Still hit my kind of takings target, which is 250 for the day, but yeah, disappointing. Let's get something in the afternoon. This would have been a good, decent day. Like this time last year, with the price of fuel last year, would have been like 150 plus day a day. You know, earnings. So after costs, all costs. But the way fuel prices now, it won't be that. It'll probably be about 130. Yeah. So that was the day. Obviously, the whole van thing, damage. It's just a massive headache for me. I did ring the company and told them what had happened. The lady phoned me back. She's very polite and stuff. They're a big company. They've obviously got lots of trucks. Seen her about quite a lot. I think they do a lot with delivering building materials and stuff. And she said they'd rather not go for the insurance. So if I can get a quote for getting it repaired, and then they'll pay for it. But then I said to her, you know, but there's, you know, other stuff. If it goes in and they have to keep it for more than a day or whatever, or even a day, you know, I'd know, you know, if it went for the insurance, I'd be getting, you know, they'd give me a courtesy van. Basically, it's one thing them paying for the repair, but it's, you know, the whole inconvenience of it as well, isn't it? And lost earnings if I lose days on the run and stuff. So we'll have to see how we go there. I'm just going to have to see if I can arrange to take it to a body shop local to me in Walsall, proper reputable. I'm not going to go and try and get it done cheap. You know, proper place. Get a quote, give it to them and say, what ideally, well, I don't know, it needs kind of repairing because it scratched the paint down to the metal, I think, so it's going to start rusting, matter of time. So it needs fixing really. Or the alternative is I just say to them, right, this is what it's going to cost, give me that money, and then I'll fit it in to get it repaired when I can. And then maybe I don't, maybe I just touch it up with some touch-up pen, and then I just sort of, it's going to devalue the vehicle, so I'll get less for it when I sell it. But if I've been paid for the damage, it doesn't matter. Don't know. But if you're doing this, these things are going to happen. I've heard of people, you know, getting their side doors being ripped off by forklift truck drivers and people reversing into their vans, and all sorts of crap happens really when you're doing, you know, it for a living out and about. No matter how carefully you are, so you could damage your van or somebody else could damage your van. That's just happened to me today. And it's just another thing, isn't it? It's probably going to eat into my working time, bit of hassle, get it done sort of thing. So yeah, I'm pretty fed up today. Not helping my motivation, but that sounds like a bit of a whinge this, but that's just how I feel at the moment. Pretty fed up of it. Everything like this is just making me say, yeah, just crack on fast as you can with a HGV license, sell up, get a job working for someone. Any of this crap that, you know, damage to a vehicle. all this kind of stuff, and vehicle going into the garage and not available, and it's somebody else's problem, isn't it? That's I gain the flexibility as well from being self-employed, so it's like good points, bad points. Grass is always greener on the other side. But the way things are going at the moment, this whole year really, yeah, pretty fed up, not really feeling it too much. I mean, like, nice walk today, a bit of a fish. Still enjoy doing stuff like this in the evening, but maybe because I've kind of given up on it now in my head, I'm kind of planning to get out of it. Last year it was all a bit of an adventure still, you know, maybe a bit of the what to call it, the novelty period is over now. This year, especially with the start of this year, it really kind of sapped my motivation for doing this and for a living. But anyway, that is Thursday. So Friday tomorrow, obviously a real short week, so I didn't work Monday, Tuesday, so I've got to get home tomorrow now. So I have to get reasonably early, try and get a job towards home. Hopefully have a decent day tomorrow, but you never know. If I have to drive home empty from the south coast, it'll be a bit of a shocker week, but fingers crossed I get something. Right, Sunday evening now, so just a quick one on review financial stuff. So yeah, just the 3 days. Monday day off, Tuesday day off. That was a crazy heat wave, and also, you know, I wasn't feeling great, having pretty sure I dehydrated himself on a Sunday. So anyway, started work Wednesday, 2 jobs, 150 and 85, 235. Thursday, the 1 job, 255, which actually was my best day earnings wise, but obviously I was really hoping to get a second job and make it a really good, you know, proper good day. Didn't happen. And that was the van damage day. Friday, 75 and 98, 173, which got me home. Yeah, so it's not too bad really for a Friday, considering where I started on the Friday and where I finished up and the pence per mile I got. So I was kind of happy with that on the Friday, and finishing at 3 o'clock or 4 o'clock, including a drive home. So total 663, so £221 a day, 692 miles, all miles loaded on and unloaded. So my all miles pence per mile were 95.8. So I'm aiming really for around a 95 pence per mile minimum mark, whereas this time last year it was like 85 pence minimum. But obviously that's taken into account the extra I'm paying for fuel, which is about, or just under an extra 10 pence compared to last year. So it's gone up from like 15, it was up to like pence per mile, was up to like 25 pence per mile, but it's dropped slightly now, maybe down to 24. I've got £2 charges on here, which is Humber Crossing. Didn't bother putting it on a company card. I just, you know, I think I put it on, it was card only, but I just put my own personal one. I wasn't bothered about claiming that. So it's my pre-tax earnings, so my takings, which I just said 663, including VAT bonus I get to keep, which is £4 in every £10 of VAT charged, because I'm on a flat rate scheme, minus the fixed costs, which I'm still working off £20 a day, so that's for 60 quid for this week, 3-day week, and then £2 additional costs, charge Humber Crossing, and then the variable costs, which is fuel, depreciation on the van, maintenance, all that kind of thing, all the per mile sort of related costs. I'm currently working off 39 pence a mile. Comes to £391 for the 3 days, or £130 a day. So when it's the shorter week, it kind of like that getting home week. I'm trying to get, last week I was only on it for 3 days, so I had 2 normal on the run days and then 1 get home day. Whereas normally, like the week before and my plan for next week, when I work 5 days, I've got 4 normal days on the run and 1 day where I have to get home. So that day where I have to get home, my earnings potential is always kind of constrained. I never or rarely have a good day on that day, just because it's trying to get home. So 130 for only working a 3-day week is pretty reasonable, really. I mean, I did 5 days the previous week, and I only did £125 sort of profit earnings per day. So in some ways, it was a better week last week. So that's that. Do plan to do full 5 days next week, which is a non-vlog week. So yeah, I wasn't really feeling it. In general, I still don't feel like this year I've properly got going, just because the first January through till the end of May was really poor. June it's picked up. It's kind of stayed the same now. Hopefully it'll pick up a bit more through the summer holidays, and then, you know, alright till the end of the year. But I might well not be doing this by the end of the year anymore. But yeah, I've got lots going on personally, haven't I? And I have maybe been a bit lazy at times, to be perfectly honest with myself, with you guys. And obviously, big downer this week was the van damage. So I'm going to have to, before I start tomorrow, I'm literally tonight, when I go back in the house, amongst some other stuff I've got to do, I'm going to look for body shops local to me, and then I'm going to try and just whiz around at least one tomorrow morning, you know, proper good quality accident places that, you know, deal with insurance companies and stuff, and I know they'll do it to a good standard, or more likely to do it to a good standard. Not dealerships, of course. Get them to quote it, and then I can send it to this transport company and say, this is what's going to cost. Do you want to do it this way, or do you want to go through insurance? Because it doesn't bother me if it goes through insurance. It probably will be a bit more involved. But I'm not going to pay. It's their fault. So the woman said to me, oh, you know, rather do it without insurance. You know, she has said to me, you know, by the time you've paid direct, the excess is paid, normally better off thing. And she asked me what my excess was, and I said to her, well, it doesn't really matter what my excess is, because we're not claiming on my insurance. Wasn't, you know, knock for knock, nothing. It wasn't my fault in any way. And she's like, oh yeah, I understand. But anyway, something to sort, amongst other things. Yeah, so I didn't mention it, which I may have done. I've booked my HGV theory test part. I think I did mention it, for 12th of August. So next 3 weeks, yeah, 3 weeks, I basically need to really swat up on all that stuff. So I'll try and do videos this week coming, but maybe not, because I kind of got stuff I need to be reading up on in the evenings. Yeah, so that's it for the week. Anyway, cheers for watching. Please like and subscribe and all that jazz. See you on the next one.